Hi, I'm Josh Maney. You're watching MCAT Spotlight. I'm here with Matt Hassler from the Hasslers, and we're going to talk about the Hasslers and how you guys are playing at our show on Saturday at Stage 112.
Absolutely.
How's it going, Matt?
Fantastic.
Great. Well, I guess the first start off is just like, how'd you start off with music?
You know, I started in Lewistown, Montana, just center of the state. You know, no one hears of it. They always think Lewistown, Idaho when I talk about it. And that's where most of the content from the songs comes from. It's just singing about living in a small town as opposed to, you know, hearing about city life all the time. And when I came to Missoula, I couldn't find anyone to really start a band with. I had a tough time getting people that were interested in playing and not making money right away, which is understandable. Everybody got to get paid. And I started as a one-man band is what happened. I would play kick drum with the foot and harmonica and banjo and had a tambourine like kind of tied to the other leg, and it was stupid is what it was. But enough people watched that go on that I had some people kind of come up to me. Maybe it was out of pity, maybe it was out of just pure interest, but they said, let's collaborate, let's do something. And that's sort of how the Hasslers was born, you know, and I was real thankful not to have to do that anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah. So who else is in the band?
Right now we've got Ben Haber on bass, Joey Boyd playing drums, and we've got Owen Thayer on electric guitar. He also plays lap steel, and we have Aaron Agner playing keys. And everyone sings pretty much, you know, if they're needed. We do a lot of harmony stuff. So
Cool.
Absolutely.
And how would you describe your music?
We always have a tough time with that. You know, as we started out kind of sounding like bluegrass with a lot of banjo, and we had some fiddle. We don't have fiddle anymore, so we went away from the bluegrass folk kind of thing. I still go with folk rock though. It's more towards the rock now, you know, Montana roots rock maybe, I don't know. But yeah, we keep the small town vibe going on, but we're going further and further from the rootsy kind of sound. So
Further and further away from the rootsy?
Yeah, I think so. More towards just the straight rock and roll sound. The more electric guitar we add, the less we use the banjo. Just it gets crunchier the more we record, it seems like, so, which is fun.
Cool. Who are some of the famous musicians that kind of influence your work?
You know, when I started writing songs, it was all about like Conroe Burst and John Darnielle from the Mountain Goats, all the really like heady lyricists. And you know, I showed everybody that. How could you not like this? And I said, well, you know, they suck at singing and playing music. They're just writers. And so the more I got into that, I got into the rock and roll side of it too. I really, you know, everyone likes the Black Keys. I like the Black Keys. I'm a sucker for Jack White. But, you know, I get in on the folksy side too. I listen to Jason Isbell just constantly, drive-by truckers stuff, even the Patterson Hood side of it. So, you know, it goes from country to rock to folk, but I always listen to lyrics before anything else, and I try to get that through when we play music too, so.
All right, cool. What are some of the other performances you've done, like radio? Have you done any radio or TV or anything like that?
You know, not really anything like that. We've done some stuff for radio. I did creative writing stuff for a long time at the university, and so I would do a lot of performance pieces, just reading poetry and, doing readings at the Second Winds and stuff like that. And but as the band, we've only done a couple kind of radio spots and things like that.
Okay. How do you handle mistakes during a performance?
Oh man, we just laugh to one another and we just carry through the best we can. I think maybe it was Greg Allman that said, if you play a wrong note, you just have to play it again louder. And that's what we try to do. You know, if we screw up, then we just make it look like it was on purpose and grin at one another and just, you grin and bear it. And, one of our things that makes us the Hasslers and what we do on stage is we like to have a lot of fun and drink a lot and go a little crazy. And, there's mistakes. There's always going to be. But I think as long as you've got the good energy, you can just tear through it and people are all right with it,
So what are some of the things that you sing about? Like, what are some of the topics?
We sing a lot about just the old standards, forlorn love, and we sing about drinking in small towns. The town of Lewistown comes up a lot. There's a mysterious redheaded woman that comes up a lot, and she probably shouldn't be talked about. And it's all kind of around the small town mystique, the dirt road culture, and we just try to make it relatable, but at the same time, we use names from people in our lives. We've got this personal touch on it that, when people that we know hear it, they'll know exactly what we're talking about. But we hope that the rest of the world can figure it out too. We don't want to be too precise.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you guys kind of come up with your music. Like, tell me some of the stuff you do in your sessions and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, we play at my house, and me and the bassist share a house, and we call it the shanty. It's just this dilapidated sort of shack, and it's got a basement that we practice in, and the neighbors don't seem to mind too much as long as we keep it, before midnight. And it's a good place to work in because it has this rundown sort of feel, and it just kind of boosts our energy. We don't have to feel like we're doing anything too specific to please anybody. We just do what we want. And it usually starts, I'll have an idea for a song, and I'll usually write it with just 3 or 4 chords because I don't know that much about music. And then I'll bring it to the rest of the band. I'll say, here's what I got. This is the bare bones of it. And those guys, most of them do jazz. They're jazz trained. They do all that kind of stuff. They know theory left to right, and so they'll flesh those songs out. They'll make something great on the music side of it. We'll throw some harmonies on top of it, and then practice till we decide what we like and we don't, and then we'll just do the whole thing again until we get a song out of it. And so we don't get a ton of songs. We won't learn 4 in a practice. We'll do one whole rehearsal just to learn one, and then the next time probably just practice that one. So our catalog's not huge, but we try to be tight, and I think that makes up for it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Tell me, what is your catalog like? How many albums do you have? How many songs?
We have one full length that we put out a year and a half ago, just eponymous, titled The Hasslers. That one still sounds really folksy. That one I think has 12 songs on it. But we've got probably 30 that we play at a normal show, and then probably 10 more that we pull out every once in a while. We just finished recording a new EP, 5-song one, called Pull, and that one's going to be, we just got it back from the mastering place, and that should be pressed here in a week or 2, and that's going to come out, and we're excited for that one. That's got the rock and roll sound. Our bassist did all the recording for it. He's doing recording classes right now. He's great at it. He's got an ear for that kind of thing. So we like the sound of it a lot better. We're just moving in a direction we all really like. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Tell me, how do you feel about your status in the Missoula music scene?
It's weird. When we first started, we had this great momentum, I think especially because of the bluegrass thing. People see a banjo in Missoula and they go nuts, and they think, that's, coolest thing in the world, Steve Martin. And since we started steering away from that, our fan base has become a lot more specific. People that like us more, and the people that were on the fence, I think a lot of them are tending to go the other direction. Not that we have any less fans than we ever did, we probably have more, but I think it's a different type of fan base now. The people that are listening to the more rock and roll kind of stuff on the radio, the people that are listening to the kind of folk punk that's coming out, Felice Brothers fans, those kind of people are starting to take notice and say, oh, these guys aren't just folk pop. These guys are starting to actually do something that's got a little rougher sound to it. And so the fan base is changing. And some of the fans that were there when we first started, I think, are maybe a little confused. But I think if they hang on, they'll get in the right direction with us.
Do you have any advice for musicians who are starting out, who are nervous and kind of...
Yeah, you just have to just play so much. I mean, that's the only thing I can tell them. It's just... I just did open mics as often as I could, open mic contests. If some guy stops in the street and says, hey, let's jam for 20 minutes, just sit down and jam with him. And he might teach you something, you might teach him something, but it's just worth playing music all the time. And the more you do, the more people are going to notice you. You can collaborate. You can just be out there. People will know you exist. If you're just sitting in your basement trying to record on your MacBook, no one's going to give a damn. I said damn.
Yeah. So just get out there and that's what you did.
Just get out there. That's what all of us did in the band. We just started playing shows, all different kinds. I mean, even the people in my band now, you'll see Owen playing with Kung Fu Congress and with 3 Year Dog, and you'll see Ben doing jazz with Anti-Blues, and Joey, our drummer, is a crazy saxophone player. He just graduated with a major in saxophone performance, and all these guys are, and Aaron too is just beautiful voice. playing keys, doing theater. They're all just getting out there as much as they can in all types of performance. And the more they do that, and the more we play as a band too, everyone just gets tighter and better and more comfortable. Playing as a band, playing on stage. As the bigger the stages get, the easier it gets for us too. So it's all working the right momentum.
How do you feel about this upcoming show?
This show's going to be rad. I like that there's a mix of genres for this show, and that's something that's kind of tough to find in Missoula. If you go out to a bluegrass show, that's all you're going to see. And this one, I think we got a range. I mean, seeing Come to a Smile and Boys, it's going to be, people are not going to know what to think. It's going to be great. So I'm psyched for that.
That about wraps it up for me. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I mean, this show's going to be just off the hook. It's going to be something different for Missoula. So, yeah, I just hope everybody comes out and has a hell of a time and gets a little rowdy.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on the MCAT Spotlight, Matt.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching MCAT Spotlight.